Hey everyone, I'll be covering all of the Nintendo Switch's games announced for the third week of September, so let's get started. Take control of the string puppet Abby. Abby has been held captive at a circus, but the story actually begins by her fleeing from this very situation. All of the actions is set in marionette theater, which characters literally are attached to the puppet master and the narrator named Jack. A Juggler's Tale promises puzzles that take advantage of the string puppet gameplay mechanics with an intense story of hope and empowerment with unique visuals. SpongeBob and Patrick meet a mysterious fortune teller who gives them a vial full of mermaid tears. Naturally, they're overexcited and in their flurry of wishes, tear open the very fabric of space and time. Now it's up to our heroes to rescue their friends who got lost in the Wish Worlds and bring back Bikini Bottom's most iconic buildings when SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake launches next year. The main concept of Tinykin involves partnering with the mysterious set of creatures, where you'll be able to use their powers and make ladders, bridges, explosives, and a whole heck of a lot more. There'll be a wide variety of areas to visit, including cities of ants, beetles, and other insects built inside of a giant house. Players will be able to find over 100 Tinykin in each one of the cities, and then use their abilities to climb even higher and break down doors and solve some of the city's problems. In a mysterious hidden realm, two precious kids fleeing from hardship find magical creatures and an oddball order of guardians who have lost their way. That's the simple premise of The Wild at Heart, a game that's heavily inspired by Pikmin, where you'll be amassing a horde of magical creatures to explore, collect, craft, and of course battle the natural wildlife that's spread throughout the world as you avoid the nighttime because the threats are just simply too great. Titan Chaser is a surreal driving and walking experience in which players scout out giant creatures and use light to drive them off without actually fighting or killing. Despite there being big creatures involved, there's actually no combat involved. You'll just simply be driving them away from the sleeping town using light and nothing but. The game is available on Switch right now. Navigate over 200 expertly designed puzzles in a breathtakingly lovely voxel vase world. Filler content has been burned away to create perfectly fine-tuned experience filled with richly rewarding challenges and surprisingly new mechanics that'll keep sparking your interest right through the very end. The puzzler Bonding Peaks is set to launch on Nintendo Switch on September 30th. The Lightbringer is a story-driven adventure platformer game set in a beautiful world claimed by a vile corruption. You will travel the lands across the shores, across the sky, full of ancient puzzles that will challenge the mind. On your journey, you'll face the corruption and try to bring in balance to a once beautiful and teeming world full of life that's now just a bit more barren and desolate than you're usually accustomed to. As a whole, you'll be discovering the dark secrets of the Happy Humble franchise by exploring New Elysian City and Happy Humble Burger Farm. True to the simulator genre, you'll be cooking food, filling, and pouring drinks, but if you mess up or give the wrong order or simply just take too long, you'll receive an infraction. As to what actually comes after, you'll actually have to live long enough to see for yourself. Bella is the star of the game as she'll have the task of unfolding her memories as a girl who struggles to confront herself in the past. In My Shadow, we'll have you playing as the shadows to solve the brain-twisting platforming puzzles. 4 rooms are actually included, and each one of them involves a different set of glimpses into Bella's memories and the changing relationship in her family. Expect to see over 50 puzzles in the game with unique gameplay mechanics. Hostile alien forces have set their sights on Earth and will stop at nothing to wipe out civilization from existence. The invaders seek to use their advanced technology to annihilate humanity at all cost. Give your trigger finger a workout and unleash a full arsenal of weaponry and super attacks against the wave of invading alien forces. Battle through urban cityscapes, dense forests, snow-covered mountains, desert wastelands, and even up to the sea itself to eradicate the threat into mankind when it launches on September 30th. Restore the farm to its former glory in the newest resident of Budding Village. While they may have their quirks, every one of the residents will help you get settled in, and you can return the favor by helping the village flourish. Staxel is a creative farming and village life sim with a wide cast of quirky characters. Build their farmhouse, help the villagers, and take into the wilds to fish or hunt, or even for bugs, or even grow a variety of crops in your very own backyard. Furrier confirmed that Battle Spirits Connected Battlers is finally set to launch on January 20th of next year onto the Nintendo Switch. Alongside its release, this digital trading card game will offer over 1,000 cards and up-to-date rule sets and even card options, alongside online play, versus components for even local play as well, and including tutorials to bring a new audience who are not necessarily aware of this series. A Western release has not been confirmed just yet. SNK officially released Metal Slug 1 and 2 missions on the Switch this past week, kind of out of nowhere, and interestingly enough, both of these games are already part of the SNK Selection Volume 1 they released a few months back. So this is finally their way to make both of the games available as a standalone purchase. Citadel is a futuristic platformer shooter roguelike with GBA-inspired graphics and pulse-pounding techno soundtracks. Players will run, jump, and blast through convoluted pathways and secret chambers of a giant mechanical tower. The game has 3 upgradable characters with hundreds of branching paths and more than 100,000 weapon combinations and item configurations. This 16-bit retro-style action platformer, Steel Assault, is all about detailed pixel art with modulation-style tunes. Play as a resistance soldier named Taro, who's on a revenge mission against a dictator who lords over the ashes. Given its action platforming nature, you'll experience lots of 2D platforming with side-scrolling combat and plenty of enemy bosses to fight. A zipline mechanic is included that acts as a new twist on the grappling hook mechanics for endless move possibilities. Spider-Heck is a fast-paced brawler that launches up to 4 players into a ridiculous spider showdown. You'll be able to use some crazy weapons to secure victory in battle, including laser swords, grenades, rocket launchers, the works. The primary goal is to navigate multiple platforms and including the lava itself to web-sling your way into victory. Create your own adventures in the dangerous lands of monsters, treasures, and even traps in Fighting Fantasy Legends, a role-playing card game set in the world of fighting fantasy. Travel across the land of Alancia, racing from the ranks of unknown adventure into legendary warrior status. Play as the last remaining soul on Earth fighting against a cyber being, Bop, an AI robot tasked with saving humanity, which is the star of the game itself. The title has a variety of mechanics for you to play around with, including jetpacks, shields, and bullet time. You'll be exploring and fighting your way through distinct regions and levels as you evolve your character through stages of progression and you unlock new and more powerful weapons and even more abilities. Brain Meltdown Into Despair features a unique concept of gameplay, which challenges players into clear various stages using 2 Joy-Cons simultaneously to control a pair of cute characters, offering delicate and charming hand-drawn style graphics plus dramatic and immersive music, while players need only to know there are a few simple basic controls for the adventure, and the game features stages filled with a diverse set of gimmicks and tons of puzzles. Dodgerine is a precision platforming game in which you need to use apples to perform double jumps in different ways and more than usual. The simple and responsive controls provide a great experience and challenges that need to be faced more than once. Each death is an apprenticeship more to improve your reflexes and control for improving your character rather than just bringing natural frustration. And that's what the game announcements will be covering this week. First and foremost, let me thank you for actually discovering my video. I recently was hit with yet another copyright strike from Capcom, but this time around it's a little bit different. And that's because they basically killed any and all discoverability for my videos and essentially killed the views in the process. I've been told by several followers that they don't actually see my videos in their feed and they simply won't show up at all. It seems like Capcom's now 3rd copyright strike on my channel in about a year has had dire consequences on the way actually people see and discover my content. So for now on, let me just say that I will continue to try to fight through it and hopefully have the energy and will to build it back up again. Obviously considering that the algorithm needs to get its shit together at some point within the next 3 months and finally leave me alone. But as far as Monster Hunter content is concerned, I'm going to severely curtail it and focus on other things. I can't honestly sit here and continue to promote a game from a company who flat out hates the people who promote it outright and love their games. This reminds me of how garbage Nintendo used to be back in the days, copyright claiming videos back in the day basically for no good reason. But the thing is that they actually learned. Capcom still hasn't. and Capcom Europe specifically has a knack for doing this over and over again. So if you're still watching and you simply followed me for Monster Hunter content, know that going into the future until this is sorted out, which is probably going to take a while, unless actually my channel is just randomly taken down one day for whatever nonsensical issue they could actually come up with. Know that I won't be as dedicated in covering the game any longer, and I hope you actually understand. But if you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya!